It's freaking hailing out here, guys. Oh my goodness. Look at all that ice. Woo! Oh man, it's coming down. Stay safe in there, chickens. There it is. So that right there is a chicken hawk. Which is one of the predators we have to deal with around here. Now it's perched up over on the power lines. My chickens don't seem much concerned. As you can see the size difference, they tend to not be all that big. Well, the hail and the rain have subsided for the most part. Just a little drizzle right now. We do have showers in the forecast throughout the day. And in between the storms, I wanted to get out here and get something in the ground every single day. That's my goal, is to get at least one thing in the ground. So today, I'm going to be plugging in one of these pussy willow cuttings. As you can see, the amazing root development on this plant. These cuttings were gifted to me. Very much appreciate that. You know who you are. Thank you. The pussy willow is not just a beautiful ornamental plant. It has other applications for gardeners. It can be made into a rooting hormone for your plants. There's over 400 types of willow plants. Some are shrubs, some are trees, and they can all be made into a powerful rooting hormone. So the pussy willow is a shrub variety, and even these shrubs can get rather large, but with a little bit of maintenance pruning, you can keep them in check, keep it at a manageable level. And by taking cuttings each year when you're doing the pruning, you can propagate new plants, you can make your rooting hormone. So very beneficial species of plant to have in your landscape. There are two main substances found in willow plants that help to promote rooting. One is endobutyric acid and the other is salicylic acid, both of which are plant hormones. So to make this powerful rooting hormone, which can be very beneficial, especially if you're propagating cuttings, all you need to do is harvest some of the twigs and branches from the first year's growth on the plant. You don't want the older wood. You can chop that up into about 1-inch pieces and allow that to sit in water for about 4 weeks. And those hormones are going to leach into the water. And after that 4 weeks, you can put that liquid in a jar with a lid on in the refrigerator and it'll stay good for a couple months. Another technique that expedites the process is to do the same thing, except you use boiling water up front and you steep the actual cuttings of the willow like you would a tea. And you allow it to naturally cool down to room temperature, let it sit for about 24 hours, strain it, and you've got your rooting hormone. So I think I'm going to give this plant a go right over in this area next to the bench. I love how with wood chips you just scrape back that top layer, then you're to the soil, and it's always a good surprise under here. Doesn't get much easier than that. Well, since the rain's picking up, I think I'm going to switch over to some footage that I shot yesterday of some of the work I got done out here. So one thing that I did is I went around to all the different hose ends throughout the garden and installed these quick release coupling adapters. This makes it really easy to switch in between your different spray nozzles, your sprinklers. And I've had different versions of this product in the past, much cheaper. These are all brass. I'm very happy with these so far. And I ended up purchasing 4 complete sets with both the male and the female end, and then 4 more just female ends because I've got some sprinklers around. I only need the male ends for the hoses. You can see how easy and quick it is to switch between the spray nozzle and a sprinkler. This is going to really come in handy. And I've got these installed on all the hose ends and all the sprinklers now, so we're ready to rock. And another really cool feature about this product is that it allows the spray nozzles to actually swivel on the hose, which is nice because then you never have to fight against a coiled up hose, which will be putting pressure in your wrist, and also has a tendency sometimes to loosen up the connection between the spray nozzle and the hose. I also started planting out my beans and peas this week. A little bit behind, but that's okay. It's recommended about 4 weeks before your last frost date sometime in the spring, so we're still in alignment with the season. And I'm doing some inoculation here. The inoculation is really so that I can get the formation of nitrogen root nodules on the plant's roots. And if you want to learn more about inoculating beans and peas, I made a video going over the entire topic. I'll put a link below this video in the description box if you want to check that out. Now it's good to let those soak in the inoculant for about an hour. And in between time, I want to share with you guys something I've been experimenting with a bit. Now I really like this chopped straw that comes in the bag. There are some stray seeds that are still in there. And one way that I like to combat this is to actually just throw the straw around and within the chicken coop. Let the chickens do the work of plucking out all those seeds. And as they're doing this, they're also tilling in some of the good compost that's been developing in the coop with their chicken manure. They're very happy with this job, as you can see. Then after a couple days or so, I can just go around and quickly collect that straw mulch to use in the garden. It's now going to be 100% seed-free. There's also going to be some of that good biology from the chicken coop in there. Alright, so the beans and peas have now soaked for about an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting these into the ground. I've had quite the struggle over the last few years getting my beans and peas to fully mature. I've been dealing with the pill bug situation every single year. The only bean I have never had a problem with are my fava beans, where it seems like every single one of them comes up and survives without any issues. So this year, I'm going to be planting these in several different patches, and I'm going to be planting them very densely, so the seeds are planted very close together. Also going to protect it with just a little bit of chicken wire, mainly to keep the chickens from scratching through here. I think they also had some effect on the reason why I wasn't having success in the previous years, but it's just how it goes. I also went around throughout the chicken coop, throughout the garden, and plugged in some fava beans here and there. Well, that's going to do it for now. Sure do appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Until next time, this is Dan from PlantAbundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.